Hi. Today, you're going to see my very first interview ever. And I ask you to judge me nicely. Thanks. Stick around. All right. Doug?
I got to talk to the camera, dude. Talk to the camera.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm sitting down with a friend of mine, Doug from PohlBarnProductions. You might know who that is if you know who I am. If not, I definitely recommend you go see Doug's channel. I'm going to put it on the screen somewhere. I don't even know how. Okay. I'm hoping Doug will show me.
Left shoulder, buddy. Left shoulder.
Left shoulder. Okay, we got it. Okay, so this is my very first interview ever. We're going to try to make it short and sweet and see what goes on. So first, I'd like to start off with saying that, Doug, you have been basically an inspiration to me. I see how much work you put in it, and I love your videos, and I love the art that you make. So I really appreciate the time that you've taken to give me to do this. My first question is, how long have you been making art, and is that the same amount of time that you've been doing YouTube?
Art, I just periodically do it here and there. So there's a lot of things I've done since I was a kid that aren't here, but I did bring most of the arts from YouTube coming in just now.
Okay.
Like the 4 years or 5 years, whatever
Right.
I'm doing it. The art, I did it because I was bored, and I just come out here and did it. I didn't do it for any other reason than I was bored. Well, that sounds like something to do. So I figured out how to get it up on YouTube. Most everything I did was with my camera on my phone originally, and then of course I didn't know anything, so I sped everything up like 64 times and added really stupid music to it. And I had no idea. Of course, you get blasted by people when you get it on YouTube, but you learn as you go. You learn. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let me ask you about artists or craftsmen who may have inspired you.
3 guys in general. Heath Knuckles, which I'm not sure if he's doing anything anymore. Andy Phillips.
Oh yes.
Andy Phillips and Nick Zametti.
Yes.
Now Nick Zametti, when I started watching Nick Zametti, he wasn't. He was working on it. He hadn't crossed the 80,000 mark yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
And then Peter Brown. So.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a couple I'm going to have to look up. I know Nick Zametti for sure. It's really great that you've got me here. Let me ask you something else. Do you have goals set for your YouTube channel?
We'd like to do some lives in here. I think it would help out. Recently got the Starlink so that we could do that because you see where I live.
Yeah. In the boonies.
He's in my shop, guys.
We both live in the boonies. I live in the boonies in New York. He lives in the boonies out here in Michigan.
So I did get the Starlink, and we run into quite a few issues with it. Now I'm still having issues, but I think we have some used equipment, and I think it's the router itself because everything worked. There's a lot of research to doing it. I've never been able to upload a video from my computer.
Right.
Because it would fail every time. I had to upload it through my phone.
Right.
And it'd take 6-8 hours to upload a video.
Yeah.
So I'd upload it. Right. Go to bed.
Boy, was I surprised when I found out the first time. Oh my goodness. So the very first time I tried uploading a video, my wife and I usually settle in the evening around 7 o'clock, watching TV, that type of stuff. Well, about 6 o'clock, I upload to YouTube on my laptop, and all my internet shut down. I couldn't run my phone. I couldn't run the TV. I couldn't stream on the TV. Even She Who Shall Not Be Named, that little box that sits in the corner, wouldn't work. So I used every bit of my connectivity for 5.5 hours to upload a 23-minute video the very first time. Okay, so now, do you have any advice for new YouTubers? And of course, everyone that sees me knows that I'm a new YouTuber, so what do you got, Doug?
What do I got? Be yourself. That's one thing I didn't do is come in here trying to be somebody else. Try to take somebody else's fire. It doesn't work. People see you for fake. They don't like fake, and your views will show it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So be yourself, have fun, and don't get mad. I mean, there's gonna be people that come at you, they blow it off. Any interaction on YouTube is good. If they say bad things or not, if they give you a thumbs down or not, it's all good. Ignore it.
Okay.
Don't let it get to you. It did get to me at first. I think I got a video out there where I was ranting a little bit.
Okay.
When I first started. And then I watch somebody else, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to ignore all that because you can't make anybody happy, and there's always people out there that just want to."
Yeah. For some reason they get joy out of it. It seems.
And then there's cliques out there too, so you be careful of those.
Oh yes.
There's groups, and like I have my friends, and these are people I hang out with. I go and push anybody off as being bad or anything. But there's people out there that do that. Like I said, be yourself. So one thing I like to do, because somebody threw me out there way back when I had 38 subscribers. 38 subscribers. Pam Harris from Highland Boxes.
Okay.
Okay, so you know what?
Don't know the channel.
Okay, so what Pam does is she takes a bandsaw and she makes bandsaw boxes.
Oh, nice.
Right, so that was her channel. She's seen a couple of my videos and she shouted me out. And overnight, boom, overnight on 2 videos, went through the roof because of that. So I contribute my success to somebody shouting me out.
Okay.
Okay. So I do sticker board for that reason.
Right.
Somebody is nice enough to help me out.
Thank you for putting my sticker on your
there
board.
You go. So I do the sticker board because somebody's nice enough, out of the goodness of their heart, to put me out there without me asking them. I thought that was really cool. So I don't know. I made something for her and sent it to her. That gesture, that's my whole sticker board. That's the reason I say we'll do the sticker board swaps, and I put people in the corner and give them a shout out. What they do with the channel after that is up to them. I can only send them your way. After that, you got to keep them.
You got to keep them. And that's the hard part. Keep them.
Yeah,
keep them entertained.
Keeping them is the hard part. That is one of the reasons why I do the outro with the sticker board when I get stickers. If they have a channel or not, it doesn't matter who they are, what they're doing. I had a guy that did drawers, cabinet drawers.
Really?
I gave him a sticker out.
Nice.
Nice. I had somebody, there's one sitting over there, doesn't even have a YouTube channel, but she wanted her sticker on my board.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be successful. I was just being me, having a good time at it. So.
And your authentic content is what resonates with the viewer. I mean, that's what attracted me to your videos. After I watched the first one, I was like, this is just a regular guy, like me. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, it's one thing I didn't like was watching somebody and they never screwed up. There was never a mistake. Everything is perfect.
They're good at editing.
Or they redid it.
Or they redid it 100 times.
If you want to be on the level of everybody else, well, this is reality.
Yes.
Things happen. All right, so like last week I fixed one that I threw off the lathe. I don't know.
I watched it. I watched it.
I threw it off the lathe, and it busted it all apart, and I'm like, I set it up there on the shelf for, I don't know, a month or so, looking at it, and I'm like, all right, well, I get that fixed. It didn't turn out too bad. I was a little worried about it, but I saved it. But it's the steps that you go through to get that done that people relate to. Of course, I laugh at everything when I screw it up. There's no reason to get mad at it. It's already broke,
I saw, believe it or not, a guy who has a lot of followers, and he makes very wonderful stuff. I saw him throw a tantrum. He put his tantrum on YouTube. When something went wrong, he absolutely lost his you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, we'll be editing that. Okay, let's see. How about a favorite memory of creating art? What's the favorite the favorite piece that you ever made?
Originally I did a painting, and I did mountains. I spray painted, and I did mountains. I cut out the mountains and spray painted over them, and then I did a aurora over the top of it.
Awesome.
From something I'd seen.
Oh, nice.
And there was like brush marks, looked like little people hiking up the side of the mountain. So that was kind of the coolest one.
I think Bob Ross would say that was a happy little mistake.
Yeah, a lot of those comments. That was way back when I started doing it. And it was just I took a canvas and I cut some cardboard paper, construction paper maybe.
Yeah.
And I taped it down and then
spray painted
it and then give it some bling and then resin the whole thing, and then arguing with the resin to stay off of my mountains.
Okay.
For my aurora.
All right. Well, if it's possible for me to post to your video on that, I'll put it up there in the corner. I didn't add to this list of questions, so my last question that I already had written down was, what's the best part of being a creator?
It's really weird, but it's when somebody recognizes you're out doing your thing, whatever.
Nice.
I was at a restaurant, somebody walked by and said, "Hey, Pohl Barn," he slapped you on his shoulder on the way by me.
Nice. That's amazing.
It's weird that people know you like that, And the guy lives on the corner down here. I didn't even know him.
Yeah.
He lives right on the corner. He's a mile away.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm like, he watches me. And of course, the only woodworking store around for an hour, which you've gone to probably today.
I didn't because I spent some other monies.
Oh, okay.
So I told my wife I wasn't gonna go.
So Clayton usually comes here and goes to the only wood store that there is around here.
So where I live, the nearest wood store is 3 hours away in Rochester. Well, I think this is going to be a great first interview. I really appreciate your time, and now I'll open myself up to questions that you might have for me.
I have a lot of tools, different things. I do different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started off doing like cabinetry. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That's how I ended up with all this. All right, so this big monster table saw with a 52-inch rib fence on it is my workbench.
Yes.
You know? But it's because I was doing kitchen cabinets.
So you evolved.
I evolved into all this. So what got you into all of it?
Pretty much what got me into thinking about making art and then potentially doing YouTube at some point was you. For some reason, a few years ago, I started watching YouTube videos for woodwork, and I likewise I've been working with wood my entire life, whether it's building cabinets or fences or putting roofs on houses or whatever. But I saw your content and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I said, I'm gonna try to do some of that stuff. And people have asked me for a long time to make them things like, hey, can you make me a table? Hey, can you make me this? Can you make me that? Yeah, I just figured that at this part of my life where I'm getting ready to retire in a couple of years, I was thinking that having something else to add to my income stream, and it's not necessarily YouTube income, but income from selling art that's on my site or custom art that I make for some people. Most of my art is custom made. People ask me to make something and I make it for them.
He's taking all my questions. You see that?
I ramble on.
Okay, so outside of me, who's inspired you to?
Who else? Ken over at Moon Pie Creations. I watch a lot of his stuff. The Papa, 1947. I like his stuff. Phil Anderson, I like his stuff. A lot of YouTubers, all in the woodworking space. So that's where I draw my inspiration from as far as making videos.
All right, so where are you going to go with it?
Where am I going?
You obviously have more equipment than I do.
That's a great question.
This is what I use, guys.
Yeah, and right now we've got other stuff out here. All right, pipe dream. First of all, you got to aim high, right? I'm shooting for 1 million followers. How am I going to do that? That's a great question. You want to ask me that? No.
I mean, when you figure it out, let me know.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody bump you out there.
Right.
To tell you the truth, you got to have somebody bump you out there. And there's a lot of people, in my experience, that use you based on your status. So careful with that.
Even though I want to focus on art and art made out of wood, I also want to put myself out there as a personality. And we'll see where it goes.
So you doing any research on anything that has to do with growing a channel?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I watch vidIQ, I watch Daniel Batal, in order to not stumble. Now, I don't know anything at all about anything about making channels, but from what I've seen, there's channels that go out there and they do okay and then they just flatline. There's no more growth. So I'm trying to learn how to grow and to use the tools that are available to me. Jeez, Doug, let me just thank you again for putting up with me coming out here. I come out and harass them 3 or 4 times a year. It's 680 miles one way, but I don't come just to see Doug. We have family. There you have it. So what do you think? Should I do more? Please let me know. Have a great day. All right. So today, you're going to see my very first video, Stop.